Thanks for watching another episode of Part-Time Paradise. We are the Robertson family. We are weekend warriors trying to live that RV life part-time. So today we're headed to the beautiful Lake Livingston Park. Now before we head out, we have to park the RV, load up the RV, and then get gas before getting on the road. Now here's a pro tip. Always have your wife or family member spot you as often as possible, especially in the beginning when you're learning to drive. It's going to save you a ton of headache. Now, after gassing up, I felt like everyone was having too much fun. There was not enough stress, so I suggested that we have the wife drive. Now, Alysia is an awesome driver. The ride was short, smooth, and relaxing for everyone but Alysia, who was not exactly loving the driving experience. We arrived on site in no time flat, maybe 55 minutes. First impressions of Lake Livingston was truly a beautiful place. My wife got us the perfect spot right near the water so we can hang out, fish, or do whatever and enjoy the scenery. Once we set up camp that day, everyone was pretty zapped, so we just watched movies, ate dinner, and went to sleep. Now the next morning was the start of a very busy day for the wife and kids. I think they started at like an 11. I was like at a 4. The wife and kids set off to go hiking and rollerblading ASAP after breakfast. While they were doing this, I was reading, taking in the sights by the lake, and doing some thought work. So the kids get back and they tell us just how much fun they had on the trail.
We stopped at the playground and they had one of those big old-fashioned silver slides that I remember from when I was little. And then we walked on the trails, and there's an accessible trail that's really nice that has a bird blind that we stopped and read all the educational stuff because that's how we roll. We saw a blue-tailed skink. Lucy spotted that. That is a lizard, blue-tailed skink.
Later that day, the kids actually did some homeschooling. My wife loves this stuff, and she has a seemingly endless supply of energy, as long as she's doing things that she enjoys. I mean, I guess that's like most people, right? I know I'm the same way. She really loves this stuff, you can tell, and I admire that about her. I, on the other hand, was a lot less productive, so there was a little bit of trouble in paradise at the end of day 2. During the afternoon, my son smelled something weird near the back of the RV. I wonder what that could be. Now, a few minutes later, I smelled something weird as well, and I said, okay, let's flush all the tanks, thinking that this would solve the problem. It did not. We turned off the propane, thinking that maybe it was a gas leak. The smell still persisted. Now, at this point, I thought to myself, well, tomorrow I'll just take the rig to the shop and get it fixed. We had dinner and went to bed later that evening. At 2 a.m., the cabin was filled with this like rotten egg smell, and I made a call to wake the kids to break down camp at 2 a.m. and start the trek on home. Now the trip back was just as fun as going there. We must have been high on fumes or something because we were singing and cracking jokes into the wee hours of the morning. So when we got back in town, I dropped the kids off. I dropped the rig off at the shop to get checked out, and that was the end of our beautiful trip to Lake Livingston. Oh yeah, and it turns out that that smell was one of the tanks. So here's another pro tip. Be very liberal with your use of tank treatment, because you don't want any fumes pushing up into the cabin, and the right amount of treatment keeps those fumes at bay. So that's something I learned, and I'm sharing with you so you don't have that emergency problem like we did. I hope this was enjoyable for you. Thank you so much for watching.